was going to give him eternal life. Make him a living God.
Well. Welcome back. You're listening to Monster Madness, and I'm your host, Danny Gwynn, and tonight we're covering The Mummy.
It's the beginning of the show. Why'd you tell them welcome back? Because they just got here.
I don't know.
I do enjoy that you giggle every single time you do your intro.
Because I look at Matt, and he's giving me like a weird voice.
He's like,
weird face.
Fucking dumb face. I'm sorry.
Well, we are covering The Mummy from 2017, starring Tom Cruise.
Wah, 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 wah.
And with me, I have...
Hello, I'm Erica.
Oh, I'm Matt.
I'm so thrilled about
and
it.
I am Daniel, once again.
I forgot to show you the card I got for Alyssa for our wedding anniversary.
Well, you'll have to show me.
Do you have it right here?
Hold on, I got it going.
Oh, wait, there it is.
That's really sweet.
Hey, man. It's true.
And it's true.
Yeah, right?
All right.
Good thing
Mummy,
she's not a Patreon and won't watch this video.
2017. No, this isn't the episode.
I didn't read what it was.
True. I could, though. No,
You totally could, but this will still come out after our anniversary. It doesn't matter.
True.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom Cruise. T. Cruise.
Yep.
Or what I like to call this movie, Mission Impossible 8.
Save me from the mysterious fire, Tom Cruise.
A lot of running.
Does he run a lot?
Yeah, he's always run. Every one of his movies, he's always running.
There's some brisk. The man can run.
He can run.
I mean, I actually don't mind watching him run, and that's not like a creepy, like, I think he's hot thing.
Won't
But
you
it's
go
just
ahead
like,
and run there, Tom Cruise.
he fucking
Run more.
can. He can jet.
Well, yeah, he's like 4 feet tall. 4 feet tall. Sorry.
You went
Oh, boy.
southern.
if I disappear, it's because him and Xenu have come and kidnapped me.
Probably.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
I don't think Scientologists can listen to this show.
I doubt it.
No.
I don't think they're allowed.
Nope. They probably don't even know what a podcast is yet.
They're like, what's a cell phone?
Oh, you want $50,000 so you can tell me that I'm level 8? Okay. That was
What?
a joke at their expense. They pay to get to different
Oh, yeah, that's
level.
right. You explained all this shit to me before. Sorry.
No,
was all
it's fine.
crickets.
And just...
You're very forgettable. Just kidding. I love you so much.
No, you don't.
I do. You're like my brother.
Oh,
The dominoes are already falling. We haven't much time. Unfortunately, it is a risk we must take.
That's really your plan?
You heard Aminet. Your curse cannot be broken. I am truly sorry, Mr. Morton. No matter what I do, you are going to die. Yes, evil is a disease. A pestilent infection, burrowing its way into our souls. The world needs a cure. You can be that cure.
The Mummy.
The Mummy. All right.
All right, Dan.
Off to that topic.
Give us our dissertation. The students are ready.
Are you ready?
I'm comfortable.
All right.
17 years ago, Tom Cruise was in the desert. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting you and
my
just continue to
gosh.
drink.
You need to do an entire episode like that.
That would be...
So far, I have to do an episode in my Valley Girl voice and my Morgan Freeman.
That was your
That was
Morgan
Morgan
Freeman
Freeman.
because that was fucking great.
That actually, it's what it sounded like, but I did not on purpose.
He's been
Morgan
practicing.
Freeman as Abe Lincoln through Matt Stein.
Do you want me to read all the YouPorn categories as Morgan Freeman?
Maybe at the end of this episode for the Patreon.
It'd be the second podcast I've read all those on.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, give it to us. We're ready.
All right. So this movie starts off in England with the Crusaders hurrying to hide a stone. It looks like there's
It's like a little amulet.
a little amulet. They're burying a body in like a crypt. And we see the casket, kind of fade away, and then we flash forward to present day, and workers are digging a huge tunnel to uncover that.
Yeah, for a subway or something like that.
Something like that, probably a subway.
So basically, like England is like a giant graveyard. That's what they're trying to explain. England is a giant graveyard. So every time these people try to dig underground, they keep finding all these buried crusaders and all this other stuff. And it's like a battle back and forth between people who want to preserve that and people who want to expand on, travel and transportation.
Yep. And then pretty much we got that private agency, walks in, says they're going to take over the show and control the site. And
You
then
see
we get,
Russell Crowe.
yeah, that's the first time we get to see him. He's staring at a wall, looking at some, what would you call it, script or some.
Gobbledygook.
And I'm about to butcher this one too. So Princess Amunet, right? Did I get it right?
Amunet.
Amunet.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's how they kind of pronounce it anyway. You can just say the mummy if it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
No, you don't know she's the mummy.
The bitch with 4 eyeballs. It's not
Spoiler
four-
alert.
Well, we're getting there.
Nice going.
It's in like the next 4 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next you got Princess Amunet is shown in hieroglyphs on the wall, and then you get that flashback to when she was alive. So she's the sole heir of the throne of Egypt, and she decides to kill the body of the pharaoh, Gabe, to control Egypt.
What a fucking weird name for a pharaoh. Gabe.
Yeah, I thought so too. It was just
Hi,
like,
I'm
oh, this is
Gabe.
Gabe.
Yeah, it's like all the like the name, like wow.
Yeah, you have like Ramses the Second,
Yep.
Seti the First, and it's like, hi, I'm Gabe. King Tutankhamun.
King Tutankhamun and Gabe.
Here's my brother Gabe.
He was probably from the Midwest.
It's like in The Office. That's all I can think about is just Gabe from The Office. Remember that guy?
Yep. He's on Silicon Valley now.
I don't know that show, but
Yeah. So yeah, she decided to go on a little bit of a killing spree and summons dark magic. And right as she's about to complete the ritual, she gets taken away and carried off to a secret tomb into internal darkness and is killed.
So you kind of missed an important part here.
I did?
yeah.
So the reason that she does the dark magic and kills everyone is because her parents got a little bump in the night and ended up having a son, making him the next ruler and not her.
And then she gets all stabby.
Yeah. She got stabby because her daddy got stabby. Oh, daddy stabby her mommy.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
they make
she
a
kills-
baby.
She kills the baby.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It was super weird.
Anytime, babies get killed, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I don't like dogs getting hurt, but babies are.
Oh, yeah. Dogs, I draw the line. Babies, whatever.
Oh, this movie, a lot of birds getting hurt.
That's true. Well, those are probably CG birds.
Probably.
Yeah, they're not real.
Tons of them. After that, it flashes back to present day, and then we get to see finally Tom Cruise starring as Nick with his trusty sidekick Vale. And both of them, I guess you'd call them treasure hunters, but they also work for the military.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
So-
love the chemistry between. I will say this: I love the chemistry between Tom Cruise and I forget the actor's name, but
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson, because Matt has his IMDb up.
Wikipedia.
Whatever. I thought they were hilarious together. Like I could watch them go back and forth all day. They were really funny.
Yeah, they had good chemistry.
Yeah, I thought so.
As big of a tool as I think Tom Cruise is as a human being, like he's a really good actor. Like I do think he's funny. And I think he's not bad at what he does.
That's what I was thinking about a lot when I was watching this movie, because from all the stuff that he is a tool.
Crazy.
Yeah. Not even just crazy. He's just a tool bag, just in general in his life.
Mhm.
But the movies that he does are so entertaining and like every array of emotion. And in this movie, I kind of saw a side of him that I wasn't really expecting, which was like more of like a comedic. Like he has like some really funny one-liners and just kind of like expressions that made me laugh.
Well, he starts doing that in Mission Impossible stuff too.
Yeah, but like
later on.
those have such more of like an underlining serious tone for the most part. Like it's other characters that are kind of making the jokes. In this one, he's making like funny remarks, and we'll get to the one that I really like in a few minutes. But I just continue. I lost my train of thought.
All right. So
I liked it.
at this stage of the game, they're surrounded by gunfire.
You're skipping over a little bit because they're in the middle of the desert. They're
Yes.
traveling 100 miles from where they're supposed to go to find something called Haram,
Yes.
a treasure of sorts, but not really.
And they're overlooking a valley and they're seeing into a town.
That's covered by insurgents.
Correct.
Yes. Haram, not to be confused with Harambe.
Is that a place?
That was the gorilla that they killed for killing the kid.
Oh, no. Didn't think you said. Never mind.
That's fine. I'm glad you just misheard me and not that you thought. Yeah. I was about to be really concerned.
No, like your mic cut out a little bit, so I heard
shit.
like.
Okay.
No, you're fine. I heard like Harambe, so I'm like, is it like a bay, like a Bay Area? I didn't hear Harambe.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right, you win.
So Nick talks to Vale and decides that we need to go into the town. We'll get in, get out, and steal some possible treasure or loot that's down there. So as they go down there, immediately they're surrounded by gunfire, just thinking that they would get in and get out, but they didn't. So they're on top of a roof and they're kind of stuck. So eventually they're fighting, and then they call in an airstrike. So the airstrike comes, drops all the bombs, kind of scares all the insurgents. They kind of flee.
As you should.
And then they're stuck on top of the rooftop and the building starts to come down and they fall into a crypt.
Yeah, they fall into like this weird pit and they see this giant statue of like an ancient Egyptian deity.
Which they find out is the tomb of Amenet. Amenet, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
I'm trying. Just making sure I didn't mess that one up.
No, I'm not. I gotta be honest with you. I think they pronounce it more than like 2 different ways in the movie. So I think whatever you say will be fine.
Yeah. So it is spelled out as Amenet.
Phonically.
Yeah.
Amenet.
Which is in Haram, correct? Yeah.
Like
Jack, sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, I believe they point out that Haram is not a place; it's a warning.
Yeah, it's kind of like knowledge that you don't want to obtain, is what I gathered. And to Tom Cruise's character Nick, he's like, that means they have treasure there. They're hiding something there, and I want to go find it because they sell all the treasures that they find while traveling throughout the Middle East or wherever they're stationed with their military group. They sell it on the black market for money, which is
Illegal.
and illegal. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So at this point, the military catches up with them, and they explain to their sergeant that they just stumbled across this from the airstrike. As he's talking, we immediately meet a woman named Jenny who slaps Nick right across the face. Turns out he stole a map from her, like 3 days ago in Baghdad.
Yeah.
And then Nick says that he didn't steal it, and they kind of confess, and they kind of have a lot of joking about how he was a little fast in the sack.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. So they talk to the sergeant, and they all plan to enter the tomb. So it's going to be Jenny, Nick, and Vale. So Nick, Jenny, and Vale enter the tomb. It starts to crumble. They stumble across the mummy's tomb, which is in like a secret tunnel that they kind of following a bunch of canals after they see mercury dripping down from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So they follow that. They find a pool of mercury guarded by statues, which something is stuck down there. So they're looking at it. They're kind of deciding like, what should we do? What should we do? And Nick shoots one of the wires with his gun, and immediately it starts like a chain reaction. Everything starts being released, and something is being pulled out of the pool of mercury, and up comes the mummy's tomb.
And camel spiders.
And camel spiders.
Spiders,
Yes, everywhere. And one of them jumps on Vale, and Vale loses his shit and just starts shooting everywhere.
Don't blame him. Although, to be perfectly honest, if I saw that tomb, I would nope the fuck out of there. Like, it's not like those normal tombs where they're all like beautifully painted, very happy looking. Like, this thing is...
Yeah, this is the sign of someone who's done a big bad. But Matt, real quick, because I know you hate spiders just as much as I do. Mm-hmm. Have you ever actually seen a camel spider?
Pictures. Not in person. I was thinking about their size, and I got...
It's like the size of your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Just right now, I want you to Google camel spiders mating.
What?
Ooh. Bow chicka wow wow.
And you should see a picture of 2 soldiers holding 2 of them.
Why they're mating or the spiders are mating?
Why the spiders are mating.
That'd be a little odd.
Oh, there's so many... I can't...
So many spiders.
Yeah, I can't... Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm not.
That's
if I was
thing.
fucking with you, I would tell you to Google blue waffle, but...
No, I am not that dumb.
Yeah, don't do that.
Camel spider mating. I just... Oh.
It might not... I'm not going to look up myself because I don't like this picture at all, but it's literally, I would say probably 3 feet long with them attached to each other.
I'm like speed scrolling through to try and find it. It's just picture courtship and mating. The arachnid.
It's fine if you can't find it.
They scream too.
Yeah, they're legit
what the heck
animals.
do they sound like?
I don't want to know. I'll take my headphones out.
I'm not looking it up.
Sounds like one of those goats.
Oh, camel spider. Is it really called a sun spider? Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they only live in one part of the world.
Yeah.
The sunny side.
hell.
Banging.
Let me just tell you right now, my deep fear of spiders is so rooted. Like, I will probably have a nightmare tonight about spiders.
Mine's not that bad. I just think they're really creepy, and like I understand. I went to a website that was just spider's eyeballs. It was like the top banner was just spider eyeballs.
So it's like 8,000 eyeballs.
I understand their purpose, and I really don't mind them as long as they're not inside my house.
Well, you know, statistically, there's always a spider within 6 feet of you.
Statistically, it's fucking almost winter. They're dead.
True. But it is...
If they're alive, they're deep, deep, deep underground or in my basement.
Truth. It is a myth, though, that you swallow
them?
8 spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. But anyway...
No spiders get anywhere near my mouth when I'm snoring.
Probably, they're like, where the fuck this cable wanders? Search the diamond in the rough. Like, get the fuck out of here, Jafar. But no, this is probably one of my favorite Tom Cruise scenes in this movie is when he screams at Vale. Because he's just like shooting up the whole place. And he's like, ceasefire, ceasefire. These are fucking camel spiders. They're not even poisonous. He's just like screaming at him. I just thought it was really funny.
But one of them bit him still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. I mean, in that situation, I would rather set myself on fire than be in that room. But I mean, I'd probably react that way if I had a rifle. But go ahead, continue. The camel spiders come out, they bite him. He's screaming he wants to leave.
Yep. So they grab the sarcophagus, they get out of there. Just right before that, Nick sees his first vision, and he sees Amenet in Egypt, but it's only for like a quick second. Right as he gets out of that, they decide they're going to head out, grab the sarcophagus, they leave the tomb, and they're taking it by helicopter back to the base as a sandstorm, it seems like, is approaching in the distance.
Dun-dun-dun.
So they load up the big, huge air hangar plane, jump on board. Looks like looks like Vale has been poisoned by one of the spiders because his eyes go in the back of his head, and it looks like he's about to have a seizure. So Vale goes and gets poisoned. He's possessed into like a trance. He starts to kill the other soldiers that are on the plane. During this, Nick is having another vision, and then Jenny is rescued by Nick as he gets out of the trance. So there are now Nick and Vale are kind of at a standoff. Vale has them up with a gun.
No, he has a knife.
No, he has a knife, and Nick has the gun. And he's like, Vale, what are you doing? And he shoots him. He still comes at it again, so he shoots him again. I think he shoots him for a third time.
Yeah,
and he finally kills Vale, and he's kind of distraught because he's like, oh shit, I just killed my friend.
Well, he's more probably shocked that he kind of like turned into the zombie. His one eye was completely whited out.
Yeah, he's got like this weird thing going on with veins on his face.
His veins turned black, and he literally is just like pointing a knife and just walking forward.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to run into these punches, you're going to get hit type deal.
Yeah. So then they kind of go up front, I guess either to explain what's going on to the pilot or just to get away for a second.
Yeah, and they're experiencing a slight
turbulence and a bunch of, I guess, would you call it a flock of crows? Or
murder of crows.
Flock of seagulls?
Yeah. A murder of crows attack the plane. And the plane blows out both its engines and starts to go down.
That murder of crows fucked that plane.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they could fly that high.
Probably not.
They're demon crows.
But
so
yes, I would think
no
that they're
holds
being
bar.
possessed as well. So as they're going down, they're spiraling down. Nick and Jenny are jumping up in the air, getting blown all over the place. Nick grabs a parachute and hands it to Jenny because one of the doors is kind of blows wide off. And then he pulls the cord. She flies out, and we assume that the plane crashes.
Well, it definitely does.
Definitely does. But at this point, Jenny's now safe, and now we're jumping into a different scene where a new tomb is being found. It's more like a church. A church is being invested by Cabe, is it Cabe inspectors? They have on their. I noticed on their badge. So
you were trying to figure this out. I didn't look that deep.
They never really talked about it that much. But
because it's just like basically a sock company. It's not real. It's basically a company that's pretending to be like some sort of antiquity, or they try to preserve, ancient artifacts and stuff like that. But it's a lie, but it has like some truth because there's a darker underbelly to that company that we get to in a little bit.
Yep. So at that point, the plane kind of crashes in the same spot that they're at, and it's at a church where they're investigating stuff for the Crusaders, and the tomb crashes down. You now see that the sarcophagus is wide open, and the inspectors are like flashing their flashlights all over the place. I'm like, what the heck is that? And what's there is the mummy. So the mummy actually attacks them and kind of does like this face suck thing and sucks the soul right out of them. And she just goes on a little bit, sucks a face sucking spree and kills all these guys.
And when she does that, it kind of rejuvenates her body a little bit because she's kind of pruny.
Yeah.
She's like 3,000 years old.
And then she controls their body after they do that?
Yes, she can control the dead.
She would benefit from a nice moisturizing regimen.
I would suggest to her that she wash her face twice a day. She tone and moisturize. Exfoliate once a week, if not twice a week.
Yep.
In lukewarm water. Circular motions on the cheeks. That skin will look snatched.
Did you just say it would look snatched?
Yeah, that's like a phrase the kids use.
Get with the times, man.
All right.
It's lit.
Yeah,
So
I know
now-
that one. And on fleek.
So
Is
now
that
we
still a
get
thing?
I have no idea. To me, it is.
Well, your eyebrows are on fleek.
they're on point.
That's what on fleek means.
I know.
If I were to run for mayor, it would be the mayor of On Fleekistan. Come on, not even a smirk. Damn it.
That was not good.
I had a really great, horrible joke that I'm going to recant you with. Someone was talking about something, how someone like went somewhere and then they went to a work event afterwards, and afterwards they had changed their clothes. And I'm like, did you stop him? And just look at him and be like, you changed.
Oh my God, that's such a dad joke.
I was proud of it.
Oh, boy.
I hope you looked at him with just as much disgust in your face. Like, you changed.
I was not there. I skipped the work event because I don't want to hang out with people I work with.
I get it.
Yep.
I
So,
just have all my Tourette's twitches.
Jenny's sitting at a morgue, and I guess she's about to uncover and
She has to ID the bodies.
she has to ID the bodies, and one of them is Nick. And while she's sitting outside, Nick wakes up in the morgue, and he's kind of freaking out.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're
Not
in a
knowing what's
fucking
going on.
body bag.
Ass naked.
Yeah, can we hold on?
Dick out.
Hold on, I went really Philly for a second. I was like, yow. But can we just talk about this for a second? I know you guys are too.
No, he is ripped.
For a 57-year-old man,
Oh,
he looks.
Tom
he's
Cruise?
yeah.
Well, that's because he's got all that Scientologist money. Keep him looking young.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that man's in like a cryogenic freezer every night, and
Oh,
when he
for
wakes
sure.
up,
I
they
look
have to
like
use
that.
like smelling salt to be like to wake him up when he's like frozen. But it's just nuts to me
Yeah,
because
he's
I
not-
look at other 50-some-year-old men that like I know, whether I'm like related to them or whatever, or work with them, and I'm just like, no fucking way. And granted, I know he has Hollywood money that is keeping him that way, but it's just shocking.
Yeah.
That he's built like a brick shithouse. I mean, I know he's compensating for his height and everything too, because he's very self-conscious about it. But I'm just saying, it's just nuts how he literally.
He's 6'2", right?
He's like 2'6".
Oh.
Oh, but it's just kind of crazy to me how he's just that. Like his skin is perfect.
Well, he does a lot of stuff. Like I think he still rock climbs. He
does
runs.
everything. He's like
He,
like a fucking airplane
He
pilot.
swims all the time, I think, too.
He's not like, well, he can afford it. He doesn't do
Yep.
anything else except work on himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a shellfish.
Yep.
Get it?
Uh-huh.
He's selfish. He's a shellfish. Selfish shellfish.
Ah!
I'm gonna fucking leave now, guys.
Good.
Ay, ay, ay.
Continue with your synopsis.
With my synopsis.
Your fucking dissertation.
Talk about the goddamn movie.
So Tom Cruise wakes up out of the morgue, and then walks in Jenny and the doctor, and they're like, "Whoa, you're naked!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm naked." And
Oh,
then
because he sees Vale.
yeah, because he did see Vale about 3 seconds before that. He had another little trance. Vale's in the room and is kind of like, "Yo, man, you shot me. Why'd you shoot me?"
Yeah, he's the only one that can see Vale.
He's like,
kind of
"Vale,
like this weird thing.
Vale, you attacked me. So he's just like, yeah, I know how we can get out of here. And that's when Jenny walked in. So Jenny and Nick decide to celebrate because they're both alive, and they go to a bar.
Huh.
And Tom Cruise is pounding drinks.
I need a fucking drink too if I just woke up in a body bag with a toe tag on.
Yeah.
That's some deep shit.
So Jenny walks away. Once again, Nick sees Vale in the bar and he's like, oh shit, like something really fucked me up from that crash. So he goes into the bathroom and sees Vale again and starts talking to him.
Yeah, he thinks he has mercury poisoning, which, I think it can cause hallucinations to a degree, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see like your zombie friend. But
Vale was kind of more like, I know how we can find the mummy. He's like, follow me. Because Tom Cruise eventually, from seeing Vale, ends up outside. And that's when we see a lovely amount of rats start to attack him. And then you see the mummy in the background coming at him, like kind of crawling, like a, hunched on all fours, chasing after him. And he gets covered in rats. And you think he's about to die, but then he wakes up out of that trance in a street about to get hit by a car, and Jenny's screaming at him.
yeah, everything that's happening to him is kind of like in his own mind, because what Vale explains to him is that he's going to want to wish that he was dead because now he's cursed and he has to figure out a way to get himself uncursed, which is difficult.
Side note, hallucinations are not a side effect of mercury poisoning.
Oh, well, they kind of made it seem like it was. I have no knowledge of what that entails, but what happens when you get mercury poisoning?
Nervousness or anxiety, irritability or mood changes, numbness, memory problems, depression, physical tremors, muscle weakness, metallic taste in mouth, nausea and vomiting, lack of motor skills or feeling uncoordinated, inability to feel in the hands, face, or other areas, changes in vision, hearing or speech, difficulty breathing, difficulty walking or standing up straight, impaired motor skills, problems thinking or problem solving, difficulties learning to speak or understanding language, issues with hand-eye coordination, being physically unaware of your surroundings.
And that
But
was
if
Dr.
you take this
Matt.
pill, it will make your stomach feel better.
No, that's a boner pill.
And if you have mesothelioma, please call 1-800 blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
1-800-FAT BOOTY.
So, as our boy Nick is standing in the street with Jenny, he claims that he knows where the mummy is, and they head off to the crash site just out of the blue.
Oh
he
yeah,
just automatically knows.
because she says like, no, you're just having a trauma, like you're freaking out, like you just went through like a really bad experience. And he's like, well, then how do I know all this ancient Egyptian? Because she's like an Egyptologist type deal. Her job is to preserve ancient, artifacts, because like when they were in Iraq, because that's where they found the haram, her job was to preserve all of those artifacts, because at the time, and it still happens today, insurgents will destroy things from the ancient world as kind of like a fuck you to the culture and stuff like that. Like these are like actual things that happen. So like they do have people that try to come in and to preserve those things because it's an important part of our history. Like the area that they're in, they consider that the start of civilization, kind of like ancient Egypt and those surrounding areas in the Middle East and stuff like that. Like all of that is kind of like where it seems like everything started, like how societies became what they are today. Sorry, I'm giving you guys like an art history lesson because this is what I'm learning right now.
That was okay. That's good to know.
I got an A+.
Extra credit.
No, I got a B on my test today. I don't want to talk about it.
Uh-oh.
Shit, better grades than I got in college and high school.
Shocking. But
Hey,
yeah,
I was thinking about going to get my master's, and I don't even remember if I got good enough grades to get in.
I mean, I think
I don't even remember what my
fine.
GPA was.
No, I don't. I think I looked at it before I graduated, and it's not fun. Like, it's not hard. It's like a 2-something, and I'm like, I don't fuck it.
Wait,
off.
what's your degree in? Is it in IT?
Yeah, both of them are.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I think.
Wait, how many degrees do you have?
I have an associate's and a bachelor's.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That's why you make the big bucks.
Still paying it off.
Word to your mother.
So, along the way,
You are the fucking Antichrist.
Jenny explains to Nick
Look at
how
that,
she got the map.
look at that shitty
She's so
grin.
happy.
Look at it.
I know what I'm here for.
I know. I know that you know. I know that you know that I know that you know.
But I don't know.
I'm here for comic relief. Have you ever walked into a bar, said ouch?
Haha.
Ba-doom-tsh.
I think it's really funny.
Oh boy.
Guess not.
God.
I guess not.
This is why he podcasts.
He ain't a fucking comedian, I'll tell you that.
Harsh. Darn.
Get through your synopsis.
Oh, so at this point, she kind of explains to how she got the map. She talks about the Crusaders, how you were kind of going off about, Egypt and everything. And
I'm
how
not going
it's
off
the
about it. I
center-
was just giving you facts.
center of the world. And
It's a beautiful culture.
They find out about the mummy. How do you pronounce her name? Anaxa.
It's not
I was
Anaxunamun.
about to say Anaxamun.
Crotch.
That was
That's from a different one.
1932 and from 1999.
Oksana Bayul?
You said
Well,
both?
they decide. Jenny pretty much, gives them the rundown, tells them about the mummy, how they performed this ritual. She, right at the last second, with this knife, the Crusaders hid the knife and hid the stone.
Yeah.
And she's looking for every part of it.
Yes.
So they head off to the church where the crash site is, and because Nick claimed that he knew where it was, so boom, they automatically found it somehow. They split up to start looking for this knife, and Nick ends up in another trance and is kind of following Vale, and the mummy. You can see that the mummy's also in the area because like she's kind of running around like a spider monkey, and Nick ends up inside the church and is kind of like, whoa, how'd I get here?
Yeah, because he's like drawn to her.
Yep. So then he finally gets, I guess, tackled by the mummy
Something like
and
that.
a bunch of other people that she's possessing, and he's thrown on top of the altar.
Yeah.
And she whacks off this statue's head and pulls out the knife.
She whacks
And
him.
right at that moment, Jenny walks in, like,
I love that too because she's like, Jenny, run! Like, why are you just staring? I would be out of there.
yeah. So at that point, she's about to stab Nick. The mummy's about to stab Nick, and she realizes that the stone's missing, and she lets out this horrible, like, kind of scream.
Oh, I'm a dumbass. I didn't realize why she stopped. Now it's clicking. Sorry.
It's okay. That's why we do the show.
Yeah, that's why we do this review.
Yep.
Because I did think that. I'm like, why did she stop stabbing to go stab him? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't even realize that the stone was missing. Continue.
Yeah. So somehow Nick gets out of that. They, run out of the building.
I tell you how he gets out of that. He Tom Cruises his way out of that.
Yeah, he does. He's running.
Yeah, he does.
He's running as fast as he can with his hands.
He does some roundhouse kicks and some punches and
Makes those noises too, like.
yeah.
Did you just take a shit? Sounded like a shit.
No, that's Tom Cruise for you.
I'll let you know in a minute.
Poop
If it starts
sounds.
smelling.
Yep. Starts.
You want to sniff his diapers, see if he needs a change?
No, that is a no.
I'd be upset.
I'd be upset too.
So they run out of there. They jump in this van that they find, and they start driving away. And little behold, Tom Cruise is still kind of possessed, and Jenny realizes it because they turn right back around and drive right back to the church.
Yeah, because
And she's like, "She's in your head. She's in your head."
because
Yeah.
he is cursed, so he's drawn to the mummy. She wants him.
Yeah.
She is his chosen.
Yep. So then the mummy starts chasing them, and as they're driving away again, the van crashes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're about to fight it off again, and they're surrounded by a bunch of people, and it's the agency, and they start shooting cables right through the mummy, and they bring the mummy down,
Yeah,
and they trank Nick in the neck.
they broke her down pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, she's still kind of weak at this point, right? Because she's
Yeah, I'm
she's
just
not
saying.
even standing up straight, right?
I mean,
At this
she's
point.
still a mummy.
Yeah.
She's always a mummy.
Yep. So Nick's is tranked. He wakes up back in London at their private base, and he's getting dragged in to meet their leader. And pretty much he walks into to their office. They're playing the game like, "Who are you?" And we find out that it's Dr. Jekyll.
And Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, and he's in charge of the Knob Society.
The Knob
That's how it's
Society?
NAUB. I'm calling it Knob.
knob.
I don't know. They
Get
didn't
at some
tell
of
you.
them knobs.
They didn't tell you what it stands for. So if somebody knows what it stands for, you can let me know.
Well, I'm sure they will. Yeah, no, I thought this was pretty cool because don't they walk through kind of like a whole area?
It's like a huge museum, and you see a lot of the Universal monster stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
So you see,
You see the Gilman's arm.
yes.
National Association of Workforce Boards.
Oh, thank you.
So
That's probably a real company.
there is a real knob.
Now about that.
I work for Knob.
Hey, you want to come get a job at Knob?
My name's Gabe and I work for Knob.
They just call me Gabe Knob for short.
Yeah.
Gabe
I like it.
Knob.
I'm like, you sound like you're from Boston.
Yeah.
I'm a child.
Yeah.
But no, you see a skull with vampire fangs.
Yes, you do.
Mhm.
You see
The creature of the Black Lagoon. It's its hand and like
the
a.
Gilman's
Well,
hand.
I feel like this is an appropriate time to mention that this was the beginning of the Dark Universe that subsequently was canceled directly following this movie.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not canceled.
Are they talking about bringing it back? Because I did not see anything other than that it died with this.
Invisible Man 2020.
Did they actually give it a date?
2020.
2020.
They have people cast. It's in. I think it's in
Wait.
production. That's why we didn't
It's gonna be
do
the year 2020.
Invisible Man, the older version of that movie, because I want to wait for that one to come out so we can pair those two up.
Ooh, we could do
Because
both.
that's a heavy hitter in the Universal monster movies, but I just didn't have the movie. They were supposed to do a legit reboot of Creature from the Black Lagoon in the 90s. John Carpenter was actually supposed to.
I forgot about that.
That
To
would've been
do
cool.
that, but that got scrapped. They had like a whole costume and everything. It looked badass, but
So I don't want to get too far off topic, but are they talking about doing another creature?
not that I'm aware of. All I heard of was Bride of Frankenstein and Invisible Man in 2020. I don't know in Bride of Frankenstein if that was scrapped
Oh,
along
so
with.
they did scrap Bride of Frankenstein, but if they could have brought it back because this is all from late 2017, early 2018.
Yeah, we'll get into that towards the end because like I actually really do want to talk about the Dark Universe and like all that. Continue, Daniel. But yeah, no, you see,
Sorry, Dan.
sorry, Gabe. You
Damn
see
it.
the vampire teeth, the skull with the vampire teeth. You see the Gilman, and there's one other thing that you see. You don't see it, like you see it indirectly because they do like a little like.
I know what you're going to talk about.
What am I going to talk about?
You're going to talk about the book.
God damn it! You know.
Yeah,
me.
I saw it.
The Book of the Dead
Yes.
from
the Book
the
of the Dead.
Mummy. in the
Eventually, we'll get
90s.
there. Somebody hits somebody with a book.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that they took from other movies.
Yep.
Like they even stole a lot from American Werewolf in London, but that's beside the point.
Well, if the point was to be the beginning of this new Dark Universe, then it makes sense that they kind of like teased a little bit of everything.
Mixed it all.
Oh, you know, and I really love that you saw the Book of the Dead, but nothing.
Although, let me
happened
mention
later.
this. Teeth aren't part of your skull, so if you were a vampire,
What?
What are you talking
you said there was the
about?
skull with fangs.
Yeah.
Your
Skulls
teeth
sometimes-
aren't part of your skull.
Have you never seen a skeleton?
They have teeth.
No. Guys, I gotta fucking look up a skeleton. Holy shit.
I think we need to give him a minute. I
I'm an
feel
idiot.
like It's okay. I think we should just move on.
Yep. So Nick meets Dr. Jekyll. And right off the bat, he's just kind of like, you're different.
He's still thinking about it.
I feel so
Yeah.
fucking stupid. This isn't even something you can sweep under the rug. This is going to end up on the internet forever. I've done some dumb stuff. This one takes the cake.
Oh, boy. The best part is like he tried to convince us.
Yeah, he's like, what are you fucking talking about? There's no teeth. Teeth aren't bones. You're correct there.
Yeah.
But
I
they
assume
are.
that they would have fallen out because what is holding your teeth into your fucking head is live matter.
I don't know how it works, man,
the
but
roots.
they're in there
The
for
roots.
a good bit.
Roots of the teeth. I don't know.
Yeah, just every skull that I'm looking at on the internet has teeth.
Yeah, for sure. We all learned something today.
Yeah, that I'm dumb.
Well, we already all knew that, but just, some like brief anatomy lessons we had, we learned, we learned a lot from you about mercury poisoning, and we taught you that there's teeth in fucking skulls. See that? After
Yeah.
tooth.
Wonder what we're going to learn next week.
There's apparently 51 human skulls for sale in the state of California.
I'm good.
Oh.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's very
so
weird. I found a
odd.
map that has the number for sale.
I own one right here. Right here in my head. Got one. I'm good. Don't need another one. Was that weird? Okay. Move on.
Yep.
It wasn't as dumb as thinking that your fucking skeleton didn't have teeth.
Anyway.
So back to the movie.
Your hair and fingernails grow too after you die a little bit.
So
Finish this.
Dr. Jekyll and Nick are having a lovely conversation pretty much about, oh, you're different, I'm different. And then he shows him, look, I am different. And he starts turning into Mr. Hyde. And then he stabs himself with some antidote.
Mhm.
Kind of explains who he is and talks about how he's been chasing down stuff like this for many, many years.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I want to show you something.
Hey.
So he brings him into the back room.
Was it Fire Marshal Bill?
No.
Let me show you something. Sorry.
Oh my God. Fire Marshal Bill. That is so great. Hold on. This is a really quick.
Hold
This is
on.
a trivia thing that we're never going to watch this movie on the show because it's not a monster movie. But in Liar Liar,
Yeah.
If you have you ever seen that movie?
It's been a really long time, though.
If you pay attention at the ending scene when they're wheeling out Jim Carrey on the gurney, he's actually not on the gurney. Look in the crowd. He's pretending to be Fire Marshal Bill in the crowd, and he's looking right at the fucking camera. It's so funny. He's looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Liar, liar, Fire Marshal Bill. I'm gonna show you something. And you learned something about Liar, liar today, everybody.
Yep.
All right. So Dr. Jekyll is turning into Mr. Hyde. He's showing
He then,
Nick
shoots
different.
himself with the antidote. He decides that he's not going to show Nick what's in the back room. They walk through the door, and then we see the mummy. She's all chained up. She's in the center of this huge circle thing going on. And we find out that she's being injected with mercury to embalm her. And then Nick's like, what are you doing to her?
Yeah, he gets really defensive.
Yeah, because they go on, well,
I mean, she was a pretty decent slam piece, so I understand why you got pretty upset.
oh, the mummy?
Yeah.
Oh, the mummy's hot. I
mean, that blonde smoke show from Killing Eve isn't bad to look at either.
No, the female leads are very attractive.
Yeah. How about you? You like Tom Cruise?
That's true.
I would sooner fuck the girls than Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I would never touch Tom Cruuse.
Well, you're probably both the same height.
You're thinking, like, you're not thinking actor Tom Cruise. You're thinking, like, real Tom Cruise, though.
Yeah, no, I don't find him attractive.
But you were like, man, he's ripped. I thought that was...
No, I was
Well, that
just
was-
kind of...
Yeah. That was
No,
just
that
a
was just-
complimentary statement.
That was just admiration for the fact that the man is almost 60 years old. I biked 15 miles today and I want to die.
I'll get you.
You don't
As
get
a-
me?
No, I said that'll get you.
Oh, I thought you said I don't get you. I was
No,
like,
I mean, I don't get you either, but that's
That's-
a whole different story.
Yep, so then we find out that that Nick is being...
My buddy Tom.
Yeah, my buddy Tom is being possessed by the mummy, and he finally realizes that he is, because they enlighten him and tell him that, look, dude, you're being controlled.
Yeah, for the 8th fucking time.
Yeah.
Somebody finally got through to him. And then eventually, him and Jenny are sitting on a balcony, and Jenny was like, we only had that one affair, but I'm really in love with you because you saved my life on the plane. And Nick's like, yeah, I just gave you the parachute because I thought there was going to be another one. And it's like crickets, awkwardness
Because
going
that's
on.
something that you would legitimately say to me.
What?
That'd be a 100 you quote. Like when I heard that quote, I was like, that's something Daniel would say. He's like, oh, well, I just assumed that there would be another parachute. I was just trying to be nice.
Polite in the
but
moment.
I almost died and you took my fucking parachute.
Yeah, thanks. Nice going. We could have shared the parachute.
And then it's like the Debbie Downer music. Womp, womp, womp.
Yep. But at that time, the mummy's taking advantage of that situation. She's doing some weird voodoo
yeah,
magic.
she does that
She's
thing with the
controlling this
spider.
little spider bug. He crawls up, goes into this guy's ear,
Spider.
Yeah, that was.
and then his eyes, roll to the back of his head. And as his eyes roll to the back of his head, Jekyll, says to Nick, come back to my office, and the doors lock, and he turns into Mr. Hyde, and they start getting into a crazy fight. And as they're fighting, what do we see?
The Book of the Dead.
We see the Book of the Dead. Jenny's trying to break into the room to save Nick with the Book of the Dead in her hands, and she starts whacking bodyguards with it.
Yeah, I think she only really uses it as like an object to hit someone with. Like
Yeah, for like half a
it
second.
serves no purpose in this movie, but it's just like a fun little throwback to the 90s movies
Yep.
with Brendan Fraser.
I paused it just to look at it and be like, yep, that's the book.
I mean, those movies are great.
Yep.
I love them.
I do too. We have watched them many, many times.
Yes, I have the novelizations too, and I'm not even ashamed of it.
Yeah. So then we get into another great part. They're fighting, and Jekyll or Mr. Hyde throws him onto the table and does this lovely jab into his ribs.
Oh my god, that sent shivers down my spine.
Yeah,
Oh my fucking god,
that was pretty gross. He
Yeah.
pretty much put his two fingers in between one of his ribs and just pulled up as hard as he could.
Because like you've seen in a million action movies, people brawling, people fighting. It's always just like throwing punches. This is such a move to literally jam your fingers underneath someone's rib cage on the outside and pull. You're gonna oh my god. Well, because here's the thing. I've had a child, and when they get to a certain size and they're moving around, things get jammed in certain places, and I'm very petite. So my daughter was 7 pounds 11 ounces when she was born, which is big for me. I one time felt her toes go in between two of my ribs.
Oh.
I literally had to figure out a way to kind of maneuver it out because I was in unbelievable pain. And I was more concerned about not myself, but like what would happen to her toes. But that's what it at least felt like to me. And I could see something protruding. Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
Ouch.
But that was the only time. But that's exactly like my whole body went back to that moment and that pain because like she's pushing against bones that aren't supposed to move.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm going to holster that one until...
Thanks for going through that pain.
You're welcome. It was worth it, I guess. No, I'm kidding. It was very much worth it. But I'm just saying, it is extremely painful to have your ribs be hit a lot.
Yep.
A lot.
So as they're fighting the other Crusaders in the tomb, they find the stone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So eventually, Jekyll or Mr. Hyde gets stabbed by Tom with his antidote, and they all come out of it, and the doors for that room open up again.
Yeah.
And he runs out to Jenny. They realize that the mummy has escaped, and Tom is like, "I know where the stone is. We have to go there." Because other people knew too, because it was kind of, I guess the workers at the place at the time, introduced it that they found it. So they head off to find the stone. And as they're going, the mummy she kind of claps her hands, does a chant, and she turns this huge glass storm. She starts breaking all the windows in the room.
Yeah.
And another, sandstorm starts happening.
Mm-hmm.
And shoots that at them. And now they're running down the street. She's doing the same thing in the street. All the glass is coming off buildings, following them everywhere. They're running around, dodging stuff, dodging trains, dodging cars, dodging everything that's in their right path. And then eventually they try to dive through a bus, but Tom gets stuck. And then he sees Vale again. And Vale's like, "Yo, buddy, I know where the stone is. Just ditch Jenny and follow me."
Yeah, it's just chaos.
Yeah, you find out that they're now in the tunnel somehow. Fast forwards to
in the train.
Yeah, they're in the train tunnels now, and they're starting to look for stuff. And as they're looking for everything, he finds a pool of water. And what does he dive into to kind of get into the next chamber of the tomb? But he also sees Jenny at the same time, and then once again he screams, "Jenny! Like, what are you doing here?"
Well, yeah. What happens? They get in like an underwater thing, and my memory is slipping as how they get into the body of water. But then, as they're in the water, the female mummy comes up and grabs her and takes her under the water to drown her. Nick goes down to try to locate her. He can't, so he goes up to find an air pocket, goes back down, eventually comes up again, and he's in this kind of chamber area, and he finds Jenny floating in the water, and she's dead, and the mummy's there, and she's just like, "Can't do anything about it. She's dead." But actually, I lied. You can do something about it. If you become my chosen, you can control death. You can do all these amazing things. And after some certain bullshit conversations, debating, and all this hoopla shit, Nick just stabs himself and becomes fucking mummy man. That was
pretty much it.
Yeah, and then
he brings her back. He brings Jenny back after
before he does that, he fucks up some shit.
Yeah, I mean he stabs himself.
He stabs himself. He becomes the mummy.
And then he sucks out the other mummies. He does the face sucking thing and kills her.
Yeah, he dehydrates the shit out of her.
Yeah. And then he brings Jenny back to life.
Mm-hmm. But he kind of, at that point, he disappeared. Like, he now has this curse upon him, full-fledged.
Yeah, he's hiding in the corner.
Yeah, but then he eventually disappears, and Jenny meets up with Dr. Jekyll again, and basically Jekyll explains to her in some little bit of a flash forward that Nick is on his own path now. He will always be drawn to the darkness, but, he did defeat Ahmet. So there is some good in him. So he's going to be having this constant battle with himself. So the next we see, and it's the end of the movie, Nick is in the desert again. His face is covered up, and he has brought back Vale. Vale's not a zombie anymore. He's not this apparition. He's not a vision. He's nothing. He's actually full-fledged human. He's totally fine. And he's like, "Hey, man, I'm really glad that you brought me back. But, what are we doing out here?" And he's just like, "Oh, come on, friend. Don't you want to have a great adventure?" Which is something he said to him at the beginning of the film. And then they gallop off into the sun. Oh, towards the Great Pyramids of Giza.
They ride off into the sunset.
Well, there was no sunset, but it was midday.
Yeah. I liked it.
But there was like a huge gust of sand behind Nick specifically.
Just his horse.
Yeah, just his horse was this huge sandstorm. Vale, like you could see like a small sand trail, but Nick had this full
baby sand shower.
and it was boom, the end of the movie.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Scene.
Credits.
Tom Cruise.
Finn. Boom, 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 boom.
I didn't realize that this movie was nominated for a bunch of like shitty awards.
Really? Was it?
Yeah, the
What did they
Like
win?
a Razzie?
Yep, Golden Raspberry Awards. Worst picture, worst director, worst actor, worst supporting actor, worst supporting actress, worst screenplay, worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel. The Razzie nominee, So Rotten You Loved It.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have finished the movie, it is time for questions of the day. For those of you keeping track at home, it is a tie. Are you guys nervous?
Mm-hmm.
You're going down.
Someone is going to come out
Victorious.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This season, and I'm nervous about it, could end on a tie. Then I'm going to come up with a whole thing, a sudden death.
Ooh.
So
We could play a different game for sudden death.
listen,
Feats
I'm
of
in charge
strength?
of it.
Because I'd win.
I'm not getting involved in this.
Mm.
Questions of the damned. Mustard.
Who gets to go first this time?
Well, because I pity Matt.
Damn
in
it.
general.
Yep. He's always going first.
Yeah.
Mustard.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The zero gravity scene in the crashing airplane was very difficult to shoot. How many times did they shoot that scene over the course of 2 days?
Ooh.
23 times, 64 times, 85 times. Are you okay?
I didn't freeze. 64? Is that the 60 option? I was like, yeah, it's my goddamn phone.
Son of a gun.
Can you imagine doing that 64 times?
That would be a lot of fun.
Well, those, from what I understand, and it's been a long time since I did any sort of research on those planes, but they can only go into zero G for like 17 seconds.
Don't they just keep going up and down like a wave?
Right, but you can only reach zero G while you're at the apex, so it's only for X amount of time.
Shout out to the Apex and the Abyss. Shameless plug. All right, Daniel.
Yes.
True or false? Referring back to the zero gravity scene, due to the fact that it was a tough stunt to pull off, and it had to be reshot over and over again to get it just right, it caused the crew to get severe motion sickness. However, Tom Cruise and Annabelle Wallace, Jenny and Nick, were able to keep themselves from blowing chunks.
This is true. You had so much detail, it had to be true.
I tried to be detailed in all of them.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually going to make that one false and just say Tom Cruise didn't get sick, but I was like, no. I didn't want to trick you too much. Yeah, they were the only two that didn't throw up. Everyone else did.
Huh.
I would have vomited as soon as we got in the
He
plane.
probably does that for fun.
He does do that for fun. He does like zero gravity in like an entire Mission Impossible movie.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun,
Okay.
dun, dun,
Matthew.
dun.
Yes, dear.
The tagline of the film, I knew you were going to say that.
Oh,
The
sorry.
tagline of this film is welcome to a new world of gods and monsters. This is a quote from which Universal horror movie? Bride of Frankenstein, House of Frankenstein, or Dracula's Daughter?
Fuck.
That is not an option.
I feel like Dracula's Daughter's fake.
Bride of Frankenstein, House of Frankenstein, Dracula's Daughter.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Damn
Oh,
it.
fuck, yes. Okay, cool.
I knew that one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't even know that one until this movie. All right, Daniel. The tormented Dr. Jekyll is played by Russell Crowe in this film.
True.
Hold on. It's not even a true or false.
Shit.
Within this list of names, who was not a contender for the role?
Not
Not. So, out of the list of names,
Michael Jackson.
he was dead at the time.
So he's not a contender. So technically he's right.
I mean,
Ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. Okay.
What's my choices?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Javier Bardem, or Hugh Jackman. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt played that kid in Premium Rush, that bicycle movie that you like.
All right.
Also Third Dark from the Sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't know that. Javier Bardem played the bad guy in James Bond, the one with the removable jaw. Is
Okay, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
that your final answer?
That's my final answer. He's too young to be it. What?
Hugh
He's
Jackman.
like, darn. close.
Oh shit!
No.
Shit!
Is it my turn now?
No, it's
Technically, it's-
always give this man.
This is the first time that she has not like made up rules for me. I am just spanking you.
I know. I'm going back and forth. I'm being fair this round.
All right. I could have been notorious, but
You could still steal.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, Matthew.
Yes.
Tom Cruise's name in this film was Nick Morton. What was he originally called? Rick Morris, Brendan O'Connell, Tyler Colt.
Tyler Colt.
Matt wins the game.
Son of a bitch. Cheating.
Holy shit.
He studied.
For the first time,
I
This
legitimately won.
not only that, but the first time this entire season, Matt has come out on top.
I really suck tonight.
Your hair looks like Renfield right now.
Sorry, I was wearing a winter hat when I was doing work outside. So like I did shower, so it's clean. It's just, but
It's already snowing there, isn't it?
we're supposed to get 3 inches of snow tonight.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't put my wife's gonna make fun of me. I didn't put my winter tires on, so there's a really good chance I can't go to work tomorrow. This is what my hair looked like in middle school.
Oh, boy. Really?
Yeah, I would part it down the middle, and then it would just curl like that.
I'm so fucking proud of you right now. Not for the hair, but the fact that you actually legitimately won this round.
I can
He's
do this
so
too.
tense and upset right now.
This is
It'll be okay.
when I
I want to come back with vengeance.
So next week, we are doing The Shape of Water, which I know is going to confuse some people because they're going to be like, calm the fuck down. That's not a horror movie. But Del Toro really took a lot from Creature, and it's the most modern adaptation, so you're going to have to fucking deal with it. Plus, it's a great movie, so let's move on. But yeah,
That's
that's
a monster movie.
Yeah.
It's a creature.
Yeah, it's a creature. It works. All sorts of creature features. But in that Questions of the Damned, you could win and tie it up again. So then I will have prepared by then.
Trophy?
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, my
Sudden-
phone just went off, and it told me that snow will begin around 10:20 p.m.
That's depressing. But I will have prepared a sudden death round to declare a winner of this season's Questions of the Damned and then present one of you with a trophy. And then one of you has to send the other specialty beer.
I have a bunch of beer in my basement for you. So regardless of the outcome, I still have beer for you.
He has beer for you too.
I got beer for you too already. It's lined up, ready to go.
This is a match made in heaven.
Aww.
Aww. Cue the awes.
If you guys play your cards right, I'll send you cheese curds too.
Ooh.
I
That'd
would
be
not
nice.
be mad about that. So now that we have done Questions of the Damned and declared Matt this week's winner, and he's leading on the board. I'm flabbergasted.
Can we have a moment of silence while you flip me to the 5, please?
Yeah, please hold.
Actually, before you do that, there's a song I'd like to play.
We can get in trouble for this song.
Maybe. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Just wait. All right. I think that's under any amount that would get us in trouble.
Can you hear the flipping?
It's just the gentle slap.
Oh yeah, that's sensual. Just keep saying the words gentle slap.
Gentle slap. Gentle.
Oh,
You could play that Snoop Dogg song, Sensual Seduction.
I could,
We could.
but I don't want the internet to attack me.
I feel like Careless Whisper was the best choice for this moment.
It was.
I'll have to think of a better one for next week. When I win.
Oh shit.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, Tim.
He's gonna like fucking study the movie. You're not allowed to do research, remember that. Because I get
I'll just watch the movie.
Do you want to know how I made all of my picks?
how?
No.
So I got lucky on the first one and then paid attention to the correct answers for every answer thereafter and made sure not to pick 2 in the same order. So the first one was choice
You
2.
son of a bitch, you figured out my fucking method.
I figured you wouldn't have the same, like the correct answer wouldn't be the second one every time. So I just
How
made
did I
sure the
think
second
out?
time to not pick the second one. So it was pure luck. I didn't know anything.
was.
I'm just saying.
Now you do.
Next week it's gonna be none of the above. None of the above. And
They're
none of the-
all going to be
Nobody
choice
wins.
2. And all I'm saying is I just got lucky
You did. Do you feel good about it?
because for the second one, I almost chose The Daughter of Dracula, but I do not think that's a real movie.
It is a real movie.
Oh, okay, so that's why I
They're
went
all
with the
real
first.
movies.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't think it was real. That's why I chose the first one.
I threw it in there because typically you pick the one that's like the odd man out. So I was like, okay, I'll pick 2 Frankenstein movies and a Dracula movie, knowing that Matt will probably pick the Dracula one, and Dan will think the same thing too.
Thanks,
because he's
dick.
like, he thinks the same way too. He'd be like the odd man
I
out.
knew that answer.
How would you know that answer? You've never seen Bride of Frankenstein.
Just know. I
You
just
just
knew
know.
it.
You
I
just
just
know.
knew it.
You just know. All right. So now that we have declared our winner, it is time to go to the segment of Would We Watch This Movie Again?
So watching or recommending?
No, we switched it, remember?
No.
Because it didn't really make sense.
No, that's fine. I mean, obviously, I drink a lot.
So basically, it is kind of like a recommending, but at this point, we're kind of just focusing it more on us. Like, would we personally watch the movie again? Because people can do whatever they want, whether we recommend it or
That's
not.
really valid.
So for you, would you watch this movie again?
Yes. This is not the first time I've seen this movie.
And
So
will be the last.
no. It's the best compliment I can give this movie is the fact that it does not feel like it's almost 2 hours long. Like I remember looking to see how much time was left, and there was like 10 minutes left, and it didn't feel like it dragged or anything. And it was really because Alyssa came home and we wanted to finish the 2020 on the Slender Man stabbing.
Oh, I didn't watch that yet.
It's really fucking good, and it's even better because it happened in Wisconsin. So there's
I
like that element of like personal attachment to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
All right, Dan, what about you?
I would watch this again. I wouldn't go out of my way to probably but if it was on TV, I'd watch it.
Yeah. I hear you.
I agree with both of you. I would watch it again. I thought it was a fun movie. I had my issues with some things, like it was too Tom Cruisified, but
That's Tom Cruise-tastic. Sorry.
I'm like seriously though, because he tried to make it like more of like a Mission Impossible movie than anything. And I would have loved to see more of the Mummy. The Mummy?
Fact, he actually had part of his contract is he had to get the most screen time.
Yeah, which just proves
you
the
serious?
fact that yeah,
Yes.
he took the
The
reason.
Mummy was supposed to get it, but he got it instead.
Here's a lot of dirt on this movie is the fact that he took creative control of how it was marketed, how it was filmed, where his part in it, the writing, the script, everything. A lot of it was changed. It wasn't even supposed to be a female mummy to begin with, but because in 2017 they were competing with X-Men Apocalypse, they switched it to a female to make it slightly different.
Oh.
Because it would have basically been the whole Armageddon Deep Impact scenario again.
So I feel like I've read or heard that Tom Cruise requires the control to make sure that nothing like anti-Scientology, however you want to say that, is involved, or like everything adheres to the guidelines of Xenu's 7th spaceship.
I mean, that sounds like something he would do. I don't know, like all those guidelines.
I wouldn't think that because it's a mummy. Like, do you think?
But still,
I don't know. I mean, I don't follow.
He
that
follows
stuff.
something called Xenu.
Yeah.
He really thinks that
No.
a mummy's not that much of a
I think
stretch.
he's like Thetan level 9.
Here we go with that again.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I mean, they had to scrap the whole Dark Universe thing because of how he kind of approached this movie, and I think he thought that, oh, people are going to love this because I'm in it. People are going to love this because it's now an action movie plus kind of horror, and it's like I'm rebooting this whole generation of movies that started the horror genre, and it was a huge flop. I don't really get why it was as much of a flop as articles claim it to be, but I really think it just put a bad taste in people's mouth that he literally took over this entire movie.
Yeah.
I think Tom Cruise is an operating Thetan level 8.
Ooh.
I don't think
sounds-
OT9 exists.
It sounds like a high level.
It sounds like you spent a lot of money.
Yeah, on something that's not real, but that's beside the point.
Well, people could argue that Christianity isn't real either.
Everybody can believe whatever they want to
Well,
believe.
there's that, but Yes.
My grandfather was a teacher, a high school teacher, but he spoke like 6 languages. He was a veteran. He was a very intelligent man. And I remember my dad, because I didn't know him in my adult life, but my dad told me this quote that he said with a conversation that he had with his dad when he was older, because they were talking about religion and stuff like that. And he was just like, well, Dad, well, what if there is no God? What if there is all this stuff? Because my family, I was raised Catholic and all this stuff. So, my beliefs are, kind of in between everything. And my grandfather just simply said, if God wasn't real, man would make him anyway, because man fears the unknown. So
yeah,
no matter what, God would exist in the ideals of man. And I always thought that, I always think about that when people talk about religion and stuff like that. Like, oh, what do you believe in? I'm like, it doesn't matter what I believe in, because no matter what, the ideals of man will create something to make themselves feel comfortable at night when they go to sleep.
Right. No one likes thinking that they're the highest thing in the food chain.
Exactly.
I always say, I might be wrong, but this is what I believe in.
Exactly.
As long as you believe in something, that's fine, and you respect what I believe in, we're good.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm totally the same way. So we just got deep, man.
Yeah. After operating Thetan level 8 is cleared Theta clear.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Clear Theta.
This
Theta,
sounds like
clear.
Star Trek shit.
So I'm not brushed up on my Scientology, but I believe L. Ron Hubbard wrote OT8 to be pretty hard to get to and damn near impossible to pass, because cleared Theta clear basically means that you are so in tune with yourself and you're beyond, like, you're the smartest fucking person in the world. And so I think it's unattainable, basically. A Thetan who is completely rehabilitated and can do everything a Thetan should do, such as move, mest, and control others from a distance or create his own universe. Yeah.
It kind of sounds like they're trying to, I mean, from what I know of Scientology, it seems like they kind of take a little bit from like other places, like that whole clear Theta clear or whatever it is you just said. It seems like it's their version of like a nirvana.
Yeah.
Something that is so rare to obtain, it's almost seemingly impossible, yet like, I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of the flaming monk type deal.
It was
but
the cover of the Rage Against the Machine's first album.
Yeah, that's how I figured you'd know it.
Yeah.
But it's just like it kind of seems like mentally impossible to think that someone could reach that level of Zen. But this seems to be so riddled with like corruption, because like all Scientology, it seems to me, is just like, you have to pay this much money to get close to this being and deity that we believe in, blah, blah, or whatever they worship or stuff like that. Like, that doesn't seem right to me.
No, not at all. And they also think that OTs can read minds.
Okay. I'm
he was
out.
a science fiction writer who then decided to start a religion.
Fucking clearly.
Yeah.
You were wrong about Nick. He gave his life to save me. To bring me back.
Yes, Jennifer. He found his redemption, but at great cost. He is a monster now.
He is also still a man. A good man.
Perhaps. Yet he has only begun to discover his power. And we cannot know which side will win out. Between darkness and light. Good or evil.
Thank you all for listening to this episode of Monster Madness. I hope you learned a lot today, because I know I did. I learned a lot about Scientology. I learned a lot about Tom Cruise. I learned about mercury poisoning. I also learned that Matt is a complete dumbass and doesn't know that teeth can remain in the skull, and I'm never going to let him live that down. And we just send him pictures of skulls all the time.
Send you
Is
a
that
picture
weird?
of dog poop.
This one's got a missing tooth.
Look, there is a missing tooth. You're right. Anyway. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. We're on Reddit. We are all over the internet. You can find us all over. Please reach out, say hi, tell us how you feel about the show. I think it's Apple Podcasts now. If you have updated all your Apple devices, they don't have the whole fancy iTunes click anymore. So if you could be so kind as to leave us a rating and review, let us know how you're liking the show. If you have any critiques or, suggestions for us, please email us at monstermadnesspod@gmail.com. And yeah, we appreciate all of your listens, your love, support, generosity. If you'd like to put that support even further, you can become a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can, enjoy ad-free banter. $5 a month, you can see videos of us. I'm waving at you right now, you just can't see it.
Hi.
But if you did pay that $5, you could see the video versions of our records. It's raw, unedited, and it's pretty disastrous, but I'd pay to watch it. You can also support the show if you want merch. You can go tpublic.com, and yeah, all those links will be posted in the show notes. We appreciate you. Tune in next week to listen to us talk about The Shape of Water, which Matt is going to dance us through.
It's an
It's
entire
gonna be beautiful.
episode through interpretive dance.
It's gonna be beautiful. You just hear like a lot of like.
It's just going to be an episode of ASMR.
Him underwater.
Oh, that was actually quite soothing.
It was pretty nice. I can fall asleep right now.
I think I'm going to. See you guys next week.
See ya.
And hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Bye.
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 What are we even doing here? Where are we going?
Come on, my friend.
Where's your sense of adventure?